Hey, he fell in the cab. He fell right there from the motherfucking cab. I think he's dead. Good guess. You killed him? No, I shot him. Bullets and the fall killed him.
Most people, 10 years from now, same job, same place, same routine. Man, you don't know where you'd be 10 minutes from now.
You just met him once and you kill him like that?
But I should only kill people after I get to know them? You drive a cab, I'll make my rounds. You might make it through the night.
Oh, no!
Collateral.
New news. We're ahead of schedule.
This film is not yet rated.
Joining me today is Brain Rapperines.
Average man tribe.
Normal guy.
It's Noble Gas Tribe.
Just a normal guy tribe.
Noble Gas Tribe.
Hard-working man tribe.
Welcome to the show, gentlemen. I think after Thief, we decided to get on the Michael Mann train. Today is Collateral from 2004. The description for this one, a cab driver finds himself the hostage of an engaging contract killer as he makes his rounds from hit to hit during one night in Los Angeles. That's the IMDb description. What do you think?
Accurate.
Directed by Michael Mann, like we just said, top billed stars Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Mm-hmm. And Mark Ruffalo.
Peter Berg.
And Javier Bardem. And Peter Berg. And that guy from... who was the major...
Jason Statham.
And Jason Statham for like 2 seconds. We had some really horrible technical difficulties with my 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
We missed
recently
that scene,
purchased
kind
some
of.
Quality manufacturer there.
The first minute or two was a bit bumpy.
Paramount, shame on you.
Yeah.
Paramount, shame on you.
Some quality control there at the factory.
The rating from this one is 7.5 out of 10 from IMDb from 395,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives us an 86% from 237 critic ratings and 84% from 250,000 audience ratings. Where to watch this right now? At the time of this recording, you can stream this on HBO Max, I saw.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that HBO Max takes off after 2 months and then waits a month and then brings it back and they're like, just added.
Yeah.
The collection keeps growing.
We got it.
I love them for that. They've done that with all the Dirty Harry movies. I think it's just things that they own. They're just like,
really?
Well, we don't want it to. I don't know. I have a bunch of conspiracy theories that they're not forced to do it. They're just doing it to shuffle the deck.
Kind of like
content.
The Disney,
the Disney Vault. I think it's I don't know if it's my theory, but yeah,
I like it. It's. I would not be surprised.
As someone who would just go well, what's leaving? I'll watch that first. I started to notice, and then that stopped working as an incentive for me to watch things. So I'm like, you liars, it'll be back.
Give it 6 months.
Well, if you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest permanent collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. All right, this is a new category. We've had it on a few pods. I introduced it with you guys on Thief, and I still haven't programmed my soundbite, so I'm going to do one live. Popcorn reads the reviews. Okay, so this one is where I read 2 or 3 of the worst normal person reviews and 2 or 3 of the best that they loved it. Okay.
Okay. So you're not critiquing the reviews. You're
well,
just
we
saying,
probably will. We did in the last one.
I think that they're always correct.
Well, that's why I got the high and the cream and the very low. So the first one, it says, it takes a genius to make a movie this bad. It says, Shamesy, 1 out of 10 stars.
All right.
You're a Squishy says, this is a horrible piece of garbage. There is not a single good thing about this film.
Squishy's a horrible piece of garbage.
Tom Cruise, listen to this. Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx are miscast, as is Jada Smith, The dialogue scenes are long, boring, and pointless. The script is horrible, piece of garbage. The acting is horrible. Tom Cruise is unusually bad. Jamie Foxx is tremendously horrible. Jada Smith is ridiculously awful. Predictable and cliche-ridden, this movie never fails to rise above its uniform badness at any point. 1 out of 10 stars.
I think he. I think he was on a date and he didn't wind up getting any, so he was just mad about
Yeah,
the
that's,
result.
I mean,
How can anyone give
it'd
a
be
review
interesting
like that?
if you didn't like it. I would be interested to see what he does like.
It's the same people that will watch all 3 Human Centipedes and claim that there's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, I
so.
just,
Wow,
it could not be for you, but I would be interested to know what he considers good. That's the problem with it.
Here's a great example of that, though. I recently watched both of the Downton Abbey films with my wife.
Oh, man.
And they are really good. And they're not for me.
Did you ever watch any of the series?
I watched the first season and liked it.
And I still enjoyed the films. They're really well written, well shot, well made films.
Okay.
What's funny though?
But like I could say, sorry, Cole, but I could say that the same thing, but I can still say, hey, this is a good film. I just don't get it.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about how I was talking to my niece like the other day about how she thinks Big Hero 6 is bad. She was like, and I was like,
it is a different film.
Well, that's not why. She's young. It's because of the sadness, the sad tragedy that happens early on.
Okay.
So it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, well, you don't really, I mean, what do they think is good? What is it that they think is bad? Like them saying that it's miscast. It's like, well, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I just, it's very strange.
It's easy to write a review. It's like someone saying Bambi. I don't like it
I was gonna
because
go off on
it's
a side
sad what happens to
tangent
Bambi's
about-
mom.
Downton Abbey, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, here's the last bad review. This one
They're
says,
not specific enough. I don't get it.
turd sandwich of a movie, says Dishel1, says, tough to believe that Ebert or any other critics like this flick. It's one of the worst movies I've seen in a while. The plot is terribly flawed and unbelievable. It's impossible to get into, forced and predictable. Fox won an Academy Award for his performance in this.
No.
Must have been a bad movie year.
No, he didn't. He won it for Ray.
He won it for
That's
Ray.
what I'm saying. Like,
It's like these people don't even know.
they don't even know what's going on. So anyway, 3 good reviews. Mafster says Tom Cruise better than I thought. 10 out of 10 stars. Will the WP boy says dismiss this as a generic action thriller on my first watch. Boy, was I wrong. 10 out of 10. And Angelus 2 says the greatest movie ever made. 10 out of 10.
I don't know about that. Now we've gone the other way, and now I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, I think it was very good, and we'll get into our review in a second, but we got to get into the hottest segment on podcasting right now. Should or shouldn't you watch this? Number 1, and I want you guys to add your reasons why you should watch this, or if you disagree or agree with what I have to say. Number 1, coolest depiction of LA. Can you name a better LA depiction?
Ambulance.
Heat.
Ambulance.
Heat is also very good. Ambulance. Ambulance. I don't know. I just really like this one.
Drive's pretty good too.
No, it's
All right. You're making very compelling arguments.
I wouldn't. I mean,
cinematography
it's a
is excellent
good
in this,
It's
like
a
the-
good
Yeah.
portrayal of LA.
just the background shots and like everything. Just
LA's
the
a
whole
terrible
composition
place.
and layout. Like it really draws your eye. Just it keeps you engaged in it.
I think the reason why I put this as number 1 because the lighting, the way he shot it with the majority digital, some film, we'll get into that
all of
later.
it at night as
But
well.
all the night
That
scenes
really
are
helped,
digital, and you get this realistic view of what it is to be, in
Driving
LA at night. It's the lighting is really cool. It's not blown out. Like, I mean, Ambulance is like,
It's during the day. But
Well,
then
I
again,
know.
so's Heat. I mean, Heat's
Sure.
a much longer time. So
I don't know. I just really, it's the best depiction of a city like this at night. I really liked it. That's why I put it number
bold claim. I'm not going to refute it, but
Number 2, Tom and Fox are great together. Cruise and Fox, I should say. The vibe and this movie is really bad. Number 4, I like how this movie progresses and doesn't go back and have like exposition on characters. They just move the story forward.
There's only one little flashback
Yeah, the way that
towards the end, and it's really minor.
the way that the plot like plays out is actually, I think, probably one of the strongest things about the script, because like the guys saying it's like unrealistic. It's like, and yeah, it does take place in like heightened movie reality,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as like keeping you engaged, because you have the events that are happening, and then you slowly get bits and pieces of why they're happening, which I
Yeah.
think it does really well.
Yes.
Like, so it keeps you engaged. You keep watching it, and it's interesting throughout, without just being about the two guys.
Yeah, I mean that the structure of the story is what makes this really cool.
Yeah, it makes
And
it,
there's
it
no
makes
need
it
to-
engaging. I mean, just it being like, it's like he's a violence man who does violence. I mean, that you could do that.
A violent.
But I mean, it has a bit of a mystery to it too, where
Yeah,
where you are along with other people are kind of like following in the wake and like piecing it together,
Along with
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx's character, which is
Yeah.
really cool. I like that. And last but not least, I don't have one.
You don't have one like Tom Cruise acting against type,
Yeah, that's a really great reason.
like just him using all of his charisma, but for evil.
Yeah.
All of
I love
movie
his-
star charisma.
Dude, I love his hair. That should be number 5.
That should be number 5. I agree.
It's
Yeah.
the best reason to watch.
His like
this
silver
movie.
fox, just
Vincent
look
Gray.
very cool.
It is very, very cool. And his suit, he kind of looks like Robert De Niro in Heat a little bit. Not his, hair and everything, but just the suit
Without the mole.
without the yeah. Any other reasons why you'd watch this?
Do you like gun violence?
Yeah, dude, the
It's Michael
audio,
Mann. It's Michael Mann gun violence. He's one of the best to do it.
the 4K audio in this is so
It-
good.
Yeah, and the pictures
from
really good
Heat
too.
to this,
4K
to,
transfer
yeah,
is amazing.
It's
Miami
really great.
Vice.
I mean, it's half and half, because this is one of my like top 3 favorite movies, like Zodiac, Heat, and Collateral. Like I could watch 10 times in a row and I'd still enjoy it every time. But I love this movie because the action's really good. Like the pacing's great about it. Like it goes from one scene to the next really fluidly, and it doesn't really. The hospital scene is a little strange because that's when you feel it kind of grinds to a halt for a little bit before it picks back up again.
I agree 100% with that.
But aside from all that, like even when they're not taking people out or when they're not getting into a shootout in a nightclub, I love like their buddy chemistry is really good, but I just love the dialogue, like the existential, like the more they talk to each other, the more they kind of realize how miserable they both are in their lives, and like what like the escapism, like Vincent, loves being a hitman because it's unpredictable, it could end at any moment, you could come out on top, whereas Jamie Foxx has just been kind of lying to himself about having a better life and wanting, to go do great things and to make more of himself, but it hasn't really worked out. And so they're both trying to like grapple with like their positions in life. And it's just a really interesting the way they collide and the way they converse back and forth. Like just the dialogue keeps me really engaged, and their conversations really interesting to listen to. Like Tom Cruise as a bad guy is fantastic because he's charismatic and charming, but at the same time, he's really good at going into killer mode. Like whenever there's a situation, like he can turn it on like
Yeah, where
a
maybe he's
And
like
you-
turns into the predator essentially,
Yeah.
like
His
like in the
his
club,
instincts like
yeah,
kick
the
in.
club, and then towards
he's
the end,
5'5",
yeah.
but in this movie, I mean, he really
he
pulls
turns
off,
on the
like-
intensity when
Yeah.
it's time to get real.
It's Ethan Hunt, but without the IMF, just looking to take out everybody.
I actually really agree with that, Cole, because those scenes between the action are what really like hold everything together.
You really
it's
like
really
start caring for the
nice.
characters. So then by the end of the show, you're like, it's like
You
the-
could
the
criticize Michael Mann for having done this before in Heat, where you also have two people with very differing.
I criticized Heat
No, I'm
for
just
that.
saying you could,
You could, yeah.
but I don't mind because I like it.
But it's,
I almost wait for I'm almost excited and anticipating the next time where they're just in the cab talking versus okay, now we got another
yeah,
assassination or whatever.
but that's what
It
I
doesn't
like.
even, it doesn't go into the assassinations too much either. Like, I mean, quite a few aren't even shown. Like,
That's true.
so it's more about the hostage situation between him and Jamie Foxx, really, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the rest is just the MacGuffin.
I mean, you do have a few of the good ones where it's they are shown, but a lot of them are not because that's not really the point. The point is that he's like he is
the hit list is the
collateral
MacGuffin.
or the hitman, if you will. He is
awesome.
the collateral. See, if you
He says that in the film.
does he?
It's
He
when
says, "I'm just the collateral."
He's walking out of the nightclub when he
I missed
comes up
it.
to himself, and he says, "Why are you even bothering with me?" He's like, "I'm just collateral, anyways." And so that's what-
I'm surprised
there
you
you
didn't
go.
stand up and clap.
I should have. Yeah, no, that's one of those things. Yeah. That is correct.
Well, with that, let's get into by the numbers.
For God's sakes, just give me the damn number!
All right, estimated budget.
it was 60 million.
I was gonna say 50 million.
Very good. Brain Wrap Brains is correct. At $60 million, guess what the worldwide box office haul was?
230.
80 million.
217.
Oh, not bad for an R-rated movie.
That's really good for a Michael Mann film as well.
Yeah.
It was a good year. It was The Village and Collateral, and there was one other
Village?
big one that came. Village came out in July.
You
right
like
before
The
it.
Village?
No, I just mean big. Like it was a summer of big releases that year. Like a lot of them made a lot of money.
What's The Village? What am I thinking?
That
Is that the Shyamalan?
the Shyamalan one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Joaquin.
thought everyone hated that.
They did, but it made money. And Spider-Man too.
I'm so glad that this made a lot of money and it deserves it. So let's get into some numbers. The movie takes place on January 24th and 25th of 2004. It's a number.
It says it on
I didn't know it was January.
the
Interesting.
on the subway scene at the end. You can see it up
they're-
on the menu display boards. It goes by and it says January.
Their
25th.
Januaries are rather nice in LA.
It seems great. Yeah. Right now it's as hot as tar in Utah where we're taping this.
Then why would you
90
minutes.
dox yourself like that?
Sorry. Vincent's from
Better bleep that
this
out.
is for Brain Wrap Brains. Vincent's primary weapon of choice in the movie is a heckler
and Coke.
and a Coke USP 45 caliber, as stated by Mann in the commentary. He also uses a Ruger MK2 22 caliber long rifle handgun with integral sound suppressor
Built-in suppressor in
Yes.
the barrel.
for the hit in the jazz club. For the final part of the film, he uses a 9mm Smith & Wesson 5906
It was Smith and Wesson.
It
that
did.
he
It
takes
was different
from the
yeah.
security guard.
That makes sense because he loses his gun in the
So, some more numbers, and specifically gun ones. Since actually, both of you guys love guns.
No.
Yeah, you do.
He likes rifles. I like the handgun.
All right.
Michael Mann likes guns.
Michael Mann does like
That's
guns.
why we like Michael Mann.
And he really likes,
He likes-
to depict the sound of guns.
That yes, it's weird that a lot of movies don't do that. Like where it's just they have a sound, but it's just kind of the same
It
level
just
as
sounds
the
like
ambient.
firecrackers. When
Yeah, it's not like the.
It's not nuanced.
It's
like
not
this.
the explosion sound that you get. Yeah,
Yeah,
where
and you
it's
can
like
feel it.
where it's like it feels like it's at least a level like higher than everything else that you hear in the movie. Like yeah,
I mean, if you have anything other than TV speakers, you'll benefit from that with the gun sounds because they're very.
especially if you have a subwoofer.
Oh, man.
If you got some bass to it, the whole movie sounds amazing.
It's really, really great. Let's see. The sunglasses Vincent wears are Silhouette 40-48 with special frames attached. I really like them, and I would like some.
Oh, it is a nice pair.
Michael Mann points out several shots in the film that wouldn't have been possible on 35mm film, including the one at 1 hour 38 minutes, a close-up of Vincent in the office that shifts focus to reveal Max on the parking garage rooftop across the street. He, quote, Max would either be not exposed at all and or he would not be able to carry the focus. So
that is interesting. That's like a really technical like 35mm like thing. That's
yes,
a funny thing to have.
if
To
you've
have remembered
ever
was like it's like this shot would never have worked if I had tried to do this just all with film.
well, you brought it up, Brain Wrap Brains, that he and you listened to the commentary. He's insane to listen to.
It's the crazy, just that like ending scene on the subway when they're going from station to station.
Isn't that a spoiler?
What did I say? A spoiler?
I don't know. He's giving
just-
away the ending now.
No, just towards the end, they're on a subway, and I guess the background wasn't bright enough, so they actually added in a bunch of, they digitally added a bunch of buildings in the background and kind of create more light ambient inside the car subway so that there's more stuff to draw your eye
Oh, really?
while Vincent's kind of going through each car. It's crazy the amount of like background detail he puts into each shot to kind of like give you more to focus on instead of like one object in the scene.
Direct the eye.
Exactly.
I like it. I mean, I wouldn't have noticed that, but I would probably have noticed it with it not being there. Last two numbers I have, the computer is an
cool.
HP TC1100 tablet PC.
His little like yeah. This is like pre-iPad, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Tech.
It's a weird looking thing. I didn't even know it was real. Like when they showed it, it's like, what is this?
So there's a number.
You
That's why it's in
the
this
USB
category.
stick into it.
No, it's I literally looked it up. Text can be entered via stylus or a detachable keyboard that's not shown in the film. And the last number I have is body count. So I found two numbers. What do you guys think the body count is?
Get real confusing there. I'm going to say 20.
I think it's 17.
Well, you guys are very close. It's what I found was a 9 or 16. The site that said 16 was all of Vincent's kills were 16. I know that seems spoilery, but we're not telling you who he shoots, but there's deaths.
It should be higher than that then, because there's more people who get shot than just.
I bet it's about 20.
Yeah, because like the one guy in the club, he just starts firing.
If that's just Vincent's kills, then you're probably closer to the total body count, and you're almost right on for Vincent's body count. But
Interesting.
yeah. Anything else you want to talk about before we go into next week's spoilery version? Anything you would like to say about the film that, generally speaking?
Yeah, it's good.
It's
fun.
If you know nothing about the film, well, no, we already kind of gave it away, didn't we?
Yeah, you did. You've already ruined it. I was holding back, but you were just like, no. When they're on the roof.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to
talk around the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the premise.
You want to go in knowing nothing, but
yeah, that's really hard. I don't think
I never do that. It's not a possible thing to do. It's not worth it. And then I just actually, if I don't watch trailers or anything, I just end up not seeing the movies. So
probably
that's why it's not worth it to me.
We're not spoiling anything. There's a lot that goes on, and it's super rad.
There's a lot. It's just this is one of those movies where the less you know about it going in, the more.
Yeah, it'll be more engaging.
Yeah,
for sure.
the more intense it is.
I do remember the first time I watched this, it washing over me. It was like it was so cool to see this for the first time, and temperature, the vibe, the emotion, all that was I really felt a lot of weight on Jamie Foxx's character, and I mean, I enjoy it even more every time, and I get to appreciate the dialogue more now as I watch it more and more. But
I just see myself more as the Vincent character, and I just think everyone should be more chill with him. Stop ruining his day at work. He's trying to do his job.
Otherwise, you'll kill him.
I love what he says about, a thing isn't bad or good. It just is. And
man.
Like,
there is no why. There's only the reason.
Yeah, the reason. Yeah, I don't care why this is what happened and this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
I just really like that philosophy. It's really cool.
So I mean, I would say that. I mean, if you don't empathize with Jamie Foxx, the thriller aspect of it won't work. But then it's kind of like a power fantasy.
Yeah.
Where you're like, well, I'm just having a day at work and everyone is getting on my back and trying to disrupt my work, and that's not okay. So it works both ways, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is called Should You Watch This? So I'm saying you should watch
Unless you don't like language and violence.
Language and violence. But I know I should do this
Cruise,
in part 2.
You should
but
like Tom Cruise.
I didn't mean to hit that 3 times. That's
Gave it a nice effect.
It's not my indication of my
DJ horn.
But I really enjoy Collateral, and you should see it for sure. With that, at this point, there's going to be spoilers next week. So if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for our breakdown of Collateral from 2004. I am on the social medias. I dare you to message the Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you would share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest. Visit patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review, easier than starting your car. As always, thanks for listening, and thanks to my guests.
Word.
Noble Gas Tribe.
Normal Guy Tribe.
Normal Guy Tribe.
Average
Brain
normal
Rapperines.
guy tribe.
Always a pleasure. Join us next week for part 2 of Collateral from 2004. See you next week.